Here's what happened at round 6 of the FIM MX2 MX1 Motocross World Championship. In the opening moto for the MX2 guys, Nikolai Oban found himself at the start taking the whole shot on his HDI KTM, but Arnold Tonis had a big crash from 6th position on the opening lap and was very, very lucky to get away and rejoin in what was 11th position by the time he got to the flag. Max Anstey then found himself overtaking Nikolai Oban, who wouldn't back out of a challenge, and that was Oban out of the race. Up front though, it was Herlings who led from Max Anstey in second with Zach Osborne in there. But Ken Roxon, he made a bad start to the race and eventually forced himself from what was about 7th or 8th position up into a challenging position for the lead. Arnold Gauthier Paulin went down on his Monster Energy Yamaha when challenging Zach Osborne for 4th place. But up front, all eyes were on Ken Roxon as he found a way past Max Anstey into 2nd position. Tommy Searle then challenged his teammate for 3rd position, but he ran wide and took a load of track fencing in the rear wheel of that Kawasaki, who would not rejoin the race. Roxon got to 2nd and eventually found a way past his teammate Jeffrey Herlings, and he went on to take the victory in Moto number 1. For MX1 race 1, Commander Sal looked to have got a good start, but it was Evgeny Bobashev and Rui Gonçalves who came out through the first turn. There were a few riders went down in that first corner as a result of riders drifting too far wide, but it was Desal from Bobashev from Frossard. Steve Ramon went out on around about lap 3 from 10th position. He would eventually finish in 15th. Bobashev though came under pressure for that 3rd place from Tony Cairoli, and up front Clement de Sal was coming under pressure for the lead from Stephen Frossard. Eventually Cairoli found a way past the Russian on the Honda, and that moved Cairoli into 3rd place. He then had to find a way past Stephen Frossard, whose teammate David Philipparts was having a nightmare. He crashed and then got tagged by Kevin Strybos, and he would not finish the race either. Kenda Dyker was on the charge. He started down in 9th place and he challenged Rui Gonçalves, eventually finishing in 6th. But Cairoli then went after Stephen Frossard. This was for 2nd place. That left Cairoli then challenging Clement de Sal for the win. This is how close it was at the end of the first race. De Sal was victorious. MX2 race 2, and again it was Roxon and Herlings who came through the first turn in 1st place, with Tommy Searle in 3rd, Zach Osborne and Christophe Charlier all inside the top 5. Charlier then got passed by Gauthier Paulin, and that was for 4th position. Our leader though, Ken Roxon, went out in spectacular fashion. He crashed out, he banged his head, he went cartwheeling down the straight, he crashed out of the lead, and as a result out of the race and out of the championship lead. His teammate Jeffrey Herlings then found himself leading the race, and that would be good enough to win the overall Grand Prix and take over the championship lead. Zach Osborne came under pressure from Gauthier Paulin, and that moved the Frenchman into 3rd place. This mistake from Jeffrey Herlings on the KTM allowed Tommy Searle to take the lead with about half distance still to go, and it was Tommy Searle who eventually took his 2nd race win of the season. But Jeffrey Herlings took the race win, the overall Grand Prix, and is now the new championship leader. MX1 race 2. Could Clement de Sal repeat what he did in Moto number 1 when he was about 4th or 5th when he went round the first turn? It was the 2 Hondas of Evgeny Bobashev and Rui Gonçalves who led, the Portuguese leading. Max Nagel went out on lap 5, and so too did Philipparts about 3 or 4 laps later. Nagel went out of 6th, Philipparts went out of 5th place. But up front, all eyes were on the battle for the lead. Rui Gonçalves led at home in Portugal, but his teammate got passed by Clement de Sal to go 2nd, and then he too eventually came under pressure from the Flying Belgian, the championship leader. He repeated the move a couple of laps later on Rui Gonçalves. This time he dropped his Suzuki around the outside of the Honda rider. Cairoli was always in contention with Clement de Sal. He moved into 3rd position and then passed Rui Gonçalves for 2nd. And he went after Clement de Sal just like he did in the first moto. This is how close it was in the end, but it was de Sal who went on to take his 2nd win of the day, and he won the Grand Prix.